It is political high season again. For the journalists, these are the sights and sounds as seen here in the KANGEMA by-election. 5 years after the last chaotic elections, it will be back to the ballot again. And for the journalists, are there any lessons learned, or is it business as usual?
Tendawili! Tendawili! Unatoa mahindi. Alafu unatoka naye nje, unaanza kuita kuku. Unasema kut 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 kut.
In the hustle and bustle of Kenyan politics, it is usually character X versus other characters, with the voices of the electorate getting lost in the din.
What has been the norm mostly for us reporters covering elections and by-elections such as this one in KANGEMA has been primarily to look for the candidates themselves, to give them a platform. Not often we remember to talk to the voter himself or herself, but in my experience we did try to look for them, though perhaps we would have done more, but we did talk to a few of them and let them tell us what they want from their new member of parliament.
We still depend on what our leaders say. We still follow a certain trend, a certain ethnic background, a certain, So we still need a lot to be done. And from this particular by-election, it's a litmus test, basically, 6 months to the general election. And I don't think we have really learned the lessons.
Kenyan politics, just like in other parts of the world, is constructed along game frames. The politics of a two-horse race.
Kura yako ndiye nataka kununua na hiyo pesa. Shika hii, shika hii, shika hii. Mwambia yeye bwana mimi si kuku.
This eventually deeply polarizes, leading to violence as exemplified in the 2007 electoral fiasco. Journalists and their media houses invariably get sucked in.
I don't think even as journalists we have matured in that sense, because we still happen to give favorable coverage to some people, non-favorable coverage to some people. You will find us airing a standalone story on one particular candidate, mixing up the rest. We haven't gone to where we're supposed to be, basically. So yes, journalists, we are to blame because we are opinion shapers for our audiences. And I think it is high time, even as we try to inform other people, we inform ourselves that we play a key role. And 6 months is not a short time. I believe we can change. I believe we can mature. We can report on politics of policies. Because we're guilty as charged, we report politics of character assassination, because that's what these people do.
But after all is said and done, it is the newly created IEBC that will hold the last card. The reason why things went belly up in 2007 was because of the then Electoral Commission of Kenya's inability to hold a credible poll. The KANGEMA and other by-elections have been a full dress rehearsal for the IEBC. And the verdict?
I feel that they have done very well, despite the fact that the voter turnout has been very low. But according to, if you look at the way they have conducted the by-election and the time that somebody was taking to vote, I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes for each voter. So I think according to me, they have conducted the by-election very well. By 5, they closed all the polling stations. I remember there are guys who came at around 2 minutes past 5. They were not allowed to vote.
We've covered by-elections where people will come, for instance, and report that these people have stolen, these people have rigged, these people are involved in voter buying. And every time you go to an IEBC official, they say, we're investigating, we haven't had information, you haven't had complaints. But when you're on the ground as a journalist, these are things you keep hearing, even from the people, not just from the political parties or politicians. You hear them from the people. And IEBC just wants to play like, we haven't had, so there's nothing that we can do. I believe that IEBC needs to style up.
Personally, I thought they did a good job. So I'm confident that come 2013, they'll do a good job.
If all goes according to plan, Kenyans go to the polls in 6 months. Boni Odinga, Internews.